Hi, I'm Allie, the hands behind the turtle trunk, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet a baby play mat. This pattern is beginner friendly and will create a beautifully soft and squishy play mat, perfect for baby and perfect for tummy time. I hope you enjoy this video. Now let's get started.
For this blanket, you will need a total of 600 yards or 200 yards each if using 3 colors of Bernat Blanket Yarn. I'll be using the colors Seafoam, White, and Lemon Lime. You will also need an 8mm or L hook, scissors, yarn needle, and a tape measure.
So we're going to begin with our first color, and I'm going to use Seafoam as my first color. We're going to begin with a slip knot. Okay, and then we are going to chain 83. And by chaining 83, that should make our blanket about 36 inches across, which is 3 feet. So I'm going to make a 3 foot by 3 foot blanket, but feel free to chain as many as you'd like. It doesn't matter if it's an even number or odd number, you can really just chain as many as you like. So we're going to do 83, so we're going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to continue across for 83 chains, and I'm going to meet up with you guys at the end of this row. Okay, I just finished working our chain, so we should have 83 stitches across. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our work, and we're going to start row 1. So for row 1, we are going to work 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So this would be our first chain from the hook. So we're going to go into the second chain from the hook and work 1 single crochet. And then we are going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across. So by the end of this row, we should have a total stitch count of 82. So we are just going to continue all the way down the chain, working 1 single crochet into each stitch, and that will give us 82 stitches at the end. So I'm going to continue across, and I'm going to meet you guys at the end. So I just finished working row 1, so I have a total stitch count of 82 stitches across. So to end the row, we are going to chain 1, turn our work, and now we are on to row 2. So for row 2, we are going to single crochet in each stitch across. So we're going to work our first single crochet into this first stitch, and single crochet into the next. We are going to continue this all the way across. So again, on row 2, we will have a final stitch count of 82. And we are going to continue this for the rest of the pattern. We are going to work 82 stitches across, chain 1, turn our work, and then 82 stitches across again. All working single crochets, 1 in each stitch. So since I'm going to do color blocks, so I'm going to have 3 even sections of color, and I want my blanket to be 36 inches by 36 inches, we are going to do 24 rows per color. So far we're on row 2. We're going to do 22 more rows with this first color, which I'm using Seafoam, and then we are going to change colors. So I'm going to continue working this until I have a total row count of 24. So if you guys want to meet me back there, I'll show you how to do the color change. If you don't want to do a color change and you're just going to do 1 color, then you are going to work this for a total row count of 72. And that should give us a 36 inch by 36 inch blanket. So if you're going to do the color change that I'm going to do, then meet me back at row 24 and we'll change the colors. So just continue on, 1 single crochet to each stitch, chain 1 at the end and turn your work, and then single crochet in each stitch across. And make sure your stitch count is always at 82. And I'm going to meet you guys back on row 24. Okay, so I just worked 23 rows with my first color. So it's looking pretty good so far. So I just finished row 23, so now we're going to do row 24, and then this is going to be our last row with this color, and then we're going to change colors. So this is row 24, and we are just going to work 1 single crochet all the way across, and then we are going to change colors. Okay, I'm just coming up to the end of my row. I just have a couple more stitches left. So this is row 24, and we are just going to stop right before we hit the end. So we're going to leave the last stitch so that we can make our color change. Okay, so I have 1 stitch left in row 24, and this is where we're going to work our color change. So this will help make our color change not as noticeable. So we're going to actually start it down here, but then you're not really going to see it until the next row. So what we're going to do is we're going to start working our single crochet with our first color. So we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, and then we're going to drop our first color, and we're going to pick up our second color. So I am going to use white for my second color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little bit of a long tail at the end because we're just going to weave this in after. So leave it long enough so that you can weave it in. And we're going to wrap it around our hook, and we're going to pull through. So we're just going to finish the final pull through of the single crochet with our new color. And that's it. That's how we're going to change our color. So on the end, you're not really going to be able to tell where we did the color change. I mean, you might be able to see it a little bit, but it won't be really noticeable at all. So now we're going to chain 1 like normal. And we're going to turn our work. And we can also cut our first color now. So I'm just going to make it even with the next color. And what I like to do is just tie them together, and then I'll weave the ends in after. You can weave them in now if you'd like. I usually just wait till the end though. Okay, now we begin row 25. So for row 25, we're just going to continue doing what we have been. 1 single crochet into each stitch across for a total stitch count of 82. And we're going to work with our second color for another 24 rows. So that's going to bring us up to row 48, and then we're going to switch colors again after that. So rows 25 to 48 are going to be with our second color, and we're just going to continue across with 1 single crochet in each stitch across. So I'm just going to keep working away, and I'm going to catch up with you guys on row 48, where we'll do our next color change. Okay, I just finished row 47, so now I'm going to do row 48, and that's going to be our last row with our second color. So with this second color, I have worked 23 rows, so this is going to be our 24th row. So this will be our last color, or last row with this color, and then we're going to change to our final color. So this is going to be row 48. Just going to work all the way across. And I'm going to meet you guys at the end. So I'm just coming up to the last few stitches. And then we're going to do our final color change. So on this last stitch, we have 1 left. We're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop. We're going to drop our first color and pick up our next. So for my third color, I'm going to use lemon lime. So I'm going to leave quite a long tail, wrap it around my hook, and do the final pull through with it. And then you can just drop that. And then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. So we're just going to cut our other color. the last one, I'm just gonna tie these together, and then at the very end, I'm gonna weave those in, but I'll just leave them to the side for now. Okay, so now we are on row 49, and this is gonna be our last color block. So we're gonna do another 24 stitches, or sorry, 24 rows. We're gonna do 24 rows, so that's gonna bring us up to 72 for the total row count. So this first row is going to be row 49. We'll do 24 rows with this third color. And then we'll end with a final row count of 72. And that should give us a blanket that's about 36 inches by 36 inches. It'll all depend on your gauge, but since this is just a floor mat, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be exact, but this should give us about a 3 foot by 3 foot blanket. So we are just going to continue 1 single crochet in each stitch across. We should have a total stitch count of 82. So we're just going to continue, and at the end of this round, sorry, this end of the row, we are going to chain 1, turn our work, and do the same thing across. 24 more rows. So I'm just going to continue along, and I'm going to meet you guys back when we hit row 72. So on our final row, we'll finish it off together, then we just have to weave in our ends, and then we're done. Okay, I just finished row 71, and now we're on row 72. So we're on the 23rd row of this third color, and we are on the last row of the entire blanket. So I had just chained 1 and turned, so I'm going to single crochet in the first stitch. I'm just going to single crochet all the way across for our final row. So this whole time we should have had 82 stitches in each row and a total row count of 72. And for that, it's going to make a 36 inch by 36 inch blanket, which is 3 feet by 3 feet, which is a really great size, I think, for a little floor mat for a baby to play on. So we're just going to continue across, 1 single crochet in each stitch across. And we just speed through this and meet you guys at the end, and I'll show you how to finish off your blanket. And we're just coming up to the last couple stitches. Finish off. We should have 82 at the end. And we're just going to work into that last stitch. Okay, so we finished. We have 82 stitches, we have 72 rows. So now to end our blanket, we're just going to chain 1, grab your scissors. We're just going to leave a little bit of a long tail just so that we have room to weave it in. So just cut that. And then we're just going to pull with our hook. Pull that strand tight, and that's just going to kind of knot that right there. So we finished our blanket, but now we have all these ends to weave in. So we're going to grab the yarn needle, and we'll just start with this one. So you're going to thread your yarn and just weave in our ends. And I'm going to try and weave everything onto the same side. So I'm just going to do it on the side that I'm on now. And since this is probably going to get washed a lot as a baby blanket, I want to make sure you weave in your ends pretty good. So I'm just going to go in one direction at first, go through a couple stitches, and then I'm going to go back the other direction. Just make sure you don't go back right where you came through, or else it'll just untie. So I'm just going to go back and forth. This yarn really covers up everything well so it doesn't have to be too neat. And then we go through and we go back one more time. Just really want to make sure that's going to be in there tight. So after washing and being played on, you don't want your ends to be poking out. I think that's pretty good. I'm just going to trim that end and continue on with all the others. So I have the other ones right here. So previously we had tied these, so just make sure they're still tied. And just make sure you're weaving into the color that it matches, then it won't be obvious. I'm just going to do the same thing, back and forth. Just randomly putting these in. Okay, so we're just on the last end to weave in. So this is from our beginning chain, so don't forget about that one. And like we have been doing, just randomly weave it in. Really doesn't matter where you go. Just as long as it's in there nice and tight. Let's just trim that end off. Stretch that about. And we are all done our blanket.
Thank you so much for following along, and I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you a part of the Turtle Trunk family. Leave a like and comment down below and let me know what you thought of this playmat. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and be sure to tag your photos with the hashtag TurtleTrunkLove so I can see your finished playmats. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.